Hey, what's up, guys? Dave Duford here, late on a Friday evening. It is 8:18 Eastern Time on June 16th, 2017, and this is a live stream about my personal production for the week of June the 12th. And the goal of today's video is really just to walk you through what a real-life experience is selling final expense, where I'm going to show you the good, the bad, even the ugly, and take you through a complete week of all the appointments I ran so that you can get a good understanding of what it's really like, truly like, to sell final expense insurance without all the hype and the BS. And so what I'm going to do is start by showing you, and really spend the time showing you, my personal production on a daily basis. I'm going to show you what kind of business I wrote and detail you through each appointment. And so without further ado, hey Carlos, thanks for joining. Glad you are here. So let's go ahead and without further ado, take you to my personal production sheet for the day. So if you watched the last week's production, I'm kind of getting in the habit of doing this pretty much every Friday at the end of the day, just because I like to recap. It helps me as much as it helps you guys to show what I do and how things work. And it keeps me accountable to sticking to the system myself. So the big totals for the week: did 20 appointments, sat with 17 of them. Out of the 17 appointments, I wrote a total of 13 applications. Conversion ratio, approximately 2 out of 3 presentations converted, for a total of 6,480 AP. So I did, as you can see, a 4-day work week, with the first 2 days of the week being the heavier of production dates, and the last of the week being the lightest. And actually had a blank, a snake eyes, if you're reading the thumbnail of this video. I actually spent my entire day Thursday driving around in one giant circle without anything to show for it. And I'm going to talk more about that and the importance of understanding why that will happen, why that's okay, and that's just part of the game. So we start with Tuesday. Again, what I'm going to do here is just kind of take you through the personal production of what I've done this week and kind of remark on the appointments and what I ran into, and then kind of explain these numbers better. So just a kind of explanation what's going on. I generated about 35 leads, but a lot of these were coming from leads I generated last week, which was about 55, I believe. So a lot of these appointments, it looks like I set a bunch of those as appointments. It really didn't. It's just I had a bunch left over we didn't get to last week. So that's partially the reason to explain this. Plus, we had a couple referrals. Also had some old leads that we just got lucky with that have been sitting around since last year. So about 8 to 10 months old, that helped produce some of the premium. So let's talk about Monday. So let's talk about Monday. I didn't do anything. As you can see, completely blank. Didn't even bother to strike it off or anything. So I started my week on Tuesday, personal production. Appointment setter was able to get 6 appointments booked. I saw 5 of those, and out of those 5, I wrote 5 applications. I didn't write 5 or 1 app at each appointment. I think 2 of the presentations were husband-wives, and so that accounted for 4 apps, and then I wrote a single. So just getting started here. If I can recall, it's funny how, one thing I will note for you guys, it's funny how you can sit here and get a day-to-day. You can remember the appointments that piss you off, that waste your time, that don't buy anything. But now that it's Friday night, I'm looking back at Tuesday. I've got a printed off schedule of what I did. And I can remember the people who bought easily, but I very vaguely remember the actual people that did not buy. It's just really funny how that works sometimes. So the first one of the day, it's funny, I'm looking here at I can't remember a thing about this guy. I don't know what we did. I know we didn't sell him, because the next appointment was a referral. Actually, she called me the day before, wanted coverage on her son. Severely schizophrenic guy. We were able to get him first day full coverage for, I think that was a $25 a month deal. Then we went to the next one, which actually I ran that first. I had a ride-along that was flying in from Philadelphia. And she was late, and so I went out and ran this one first. Kind of got a verbal authorization from the client, replaced some existing coverage they were paying way too much for, spending way too much. and told him I'd be back at the end of the day to get the rest of it. So came back at the end of the day, sometime around 8 o'clock, and wrote up, I think, $50. That 51 is theirs, I believe. That was a husband and wife, like 25 each, approximately 26, something like that. Then we went to deep into the woods in Tennessee, at a little town called Telesales Plains. It is way out there. In some places, you're traveling up mountains. I had a guy do a ride along with me once, not too long ago, that was on the verge of puking, and because of how fast I drove around those mountain roads. Anyways, it's all in good fun. He was okay, and that was unfortunately one of those that was a waste of time. This particular dude is kind of interesting, actually. The guy and his wife, I would say, were not prospects. We had a conversation, my agent and I, that was on the call or on the ride along with me, about discussing whether or not these are truly prospects. And our decision or our conclusion was they weren't. They just didn't have the need. They had a lot of money. It was apparent by things mentioned in the conversation, such as we have a brand new swimming pool out back that we paid cash for, and we're suing somebody, so thus paying a lawyer. It really was not somebody who needed to spend $20, which is what they really wanted, was a cremation plan. So it wasn't really it was a low odds suspect, is what I would say. No dice there, didn't sell those. Then the last one, or second to last one, no-showed. We didn't have the address. They didn't pick up the number. We forgot to take it. And the last one was referral. That was the $80 a month there. They did rebuttal us. They wanted to think about it, partially because I showed them some high prices because of their request. I closed them on a something is better than nothing close, probably the most important closing language you can use with some of these people. And they went ahead and took the $40 a month each option, so that was good. So, wrapped the day up, 5 apps. I don't know what premium it is, something around $1,800, I guess. Good day overall. Now we roll on over to Wednesday. Kind of an interesting day again. Lots of drive time, covering about 3 different counties, mostly very rural. Saw every single appointment, but only wrote half of them, but the policy sizes were pretty good, so I'll take you through each of these. The first couple, if I remember correctly, didn't buy. Those were my early appointments. They just didn't really have much of a need, if I remember correctly. One person had coverage, and it was actually clean sheeted, which means that the policy should never have been issued at the time it was. Lady had oxygen and taken COPD. The policy was marked no by the client agent all the way through. First day full coverage, supposedly, but if she had died within the 2 years, it would not have paid. Ended up being past 2 years by the time I got there, so I didn't fool with it and just offered her something else instead. She didn't really take it. Didn't need it, to be honest with you. Then we went on to the next one here. Again, I'm trying to remember if I even sold these people. Don't think I did. Ended up selling, had a company named after an American president, prospect at the end of the day. Could have saved her some money, but she had a pacemaker put in. So got a referral from her on her son. Feel pretty good about that. And then one lady we saw deep in the woods again, roach-infested home. It's amazing to think how people sell anything in this business. And then we walked out of there with a $43 a month deal. The 35 was a nice little couple. Lady didn't have any coverage. It was a graded plan. Got her 2-year waiting period policy. Can't really do anything better than that. And then I'm trying to remember where that $51 deal came from. It's not ringing a bell. Which one it was, but I did. I know I did. I wrote that down the same day. So I think that was, hell, I don't know. But I wrote it. That's the important thing. So, nice size apps, 3 apps total. Pretty happy with the conversion ratio. No big deal. Thursday. Now, Thursday is the interesting day out of the week because I had 4 appointments. Kind of a light day, but I didn't do anything. The first one was a no-show. Actually, the first one met me at the door and said, hey, look, we're just not going to do this. We're not interested. We got it through State Farm. Just tried to talk the dude into it. He wasn't interested. Nice guy, just wasn't interested. The next one no-showed me. Actually, I no-showed her. I came back later because of the logistics of getting to the appointment. I probably covered 250 miles, 300 miles that day. Saw her late in the day, caught her as she was coming back, but she was going to her work, and she already had canceled earlier, so I wouldn't have seen her anyway. And then the last 2, the third one was just a nonstop talking person that just would not shut up. One of the kind that drives you crazy. Of course, she didn't buy, but I got to hear her life story. And then the last ones were just kind of on the edge. I might have been able to push them into a policy, but I'm pretty low key. They had some insurance, but they just weren't ready to pull the trigger. They gave me the old got some other bills excuse. So whatever, it happens, everybody. So what's cool, it's not really cool, it sucks. At this point, I kind of felt kind of down. I was probably up, I don't know, maybe roughly it looks like 3,300 for the day, for 3,300 for the week. I was done with Thursday, and I wasn't going to work along Friday. So I was maybe going to do 4 appointments on Friday. So I was already thinking, damn, I am at half mast here, considering the amount of appointments I've run. I don't know what to expect. Hopefully, I can run some actual sales here. So I was a little concerned. But that's a funny thing about this business is that we've got a Facebook group that my mentorship agents as well as Inner Circle group members. If you're interested in that, there's some links below. You can learn more about how they work. The Facebook group is so awesome because what we're able to do is share our experiences and our frustrations in a positive, constructively critical environment. And what's amazing with this business is that literally your sale is right behind the next door. And it's so trite, everybody says that, but it's so true. And it's important to be exposed to that same reality again and again and again. Because when you see other people who deal with the same thing as you do, it makes this difficult process of selling final expense a little bit easier. It's not easy. It's hard. Thank God it is. Because everybody would be doing it and nobody would be making money. Because it would be transactional, like buying milk from the grocery store. Wouldn't pay anything. So it's got to be difficult, thankfully, to keep us who are doing well profiting highly. But my point is it's important to understand is you cannot let one day like my crap snake eyes day on Thursday defeat you, because literally you never know what to expect. You cannot control what's going to happen with each individual appointment, but what tends to happen as you do production over time is your averages play out in your favor. And you just have to trust the system. There's an element of faith in any sort of sales system. And while it always is a lot easier to analyze it on paper, to say, hey, this system works. I can see how it works. So I just do this, this, and this, and give myself mentally a month-to-month analysis of how this thing's going, then it certainly can work. And that is the case. But the reality is the implementation of this system can be emotionally draining, especially when you give everything in a day driving, thinking of the other things you can do instead of what you've done. Kind of hindsight is 20/20 stuff. You can cause all sorts of mental doubt and frustration, which is normal in this business, but is not an excuse not to follow through with the system, because you must have the negativity or the negative aspects of the system produce the positive outcomes. There is no such thing as a system that produces 100% certainty. Probably is, but in the sales world, even if you're batting 30%, closing 30% of your leads, you're an elite agent, but that means 7% tell you to go to hell. So I say all this because we try to reinforce this in the Facebook group that we have as a member of the Mentorship program or the Inner Circle program. Again, links in the bottom if you're interested. It helps us remind ourselves of the importance of all of this. So anyways, wanted to mention that because I am not one who is, immune from self-doubt or self-criticism. I, like many of you, suffer from the same stuff. I'm not some sort of magical guru that has total emotional control. I've just learned to stop listening to the lizard brain that tries to talk you out of doing something because of some frustrating event. So I've got a better handle on it, but all that self-doubt is always there. And I say this hopefully to benefit you and may hopefully help you to understand that you're not alone. And you just have to learn how to not listen to your brain sometimes, because the damn thing gets in the way a lot. Anyways, so I pictured myself this morning about 50% production where I want to be, wondering how I'm going to make it up. And by God, if the final expense gods are on my side, I run 3 appointments today, started at 10, wrote 2 apps in the first home for 1,300 AP. Then I went to the second one, wrote that lady up for 41, or $44. And then I closed the third one for a total of $101 a month. So I walked out of the house. So if I do the math again, I think it's like 3,000 AP. Just a crazy amount. And obviously at 100% closing ratio, close every appointment. More apps than appointments. So the extreme of writing everybody was what was the experience today versus the opposite of Thursday, where nobody bought. So, again, it's all quite comical, really, and funny, and drives you mad. Because at the end of the week, all that really matters is I wrote 6,500 roughly AP. I had a fantastic week. My closing ratio is high. My average case size is low. If I just do the math real quick, I think that's about 500. So actually, it's not too bad. It's right on track. Maybe a little lower than I'd want. I want it closer to 600, but I'm probably more of a 500 AP guy on average. I write smaller cases. It doesn't bother me. The money comes, as you can see, if you do the production. So all the sales today were pretty straightforward. Nothing complicated. Just luck. Fortune favors the bold, as they say, and you just got to keep running the system. So lessons learned this week, guys. One thing I hope you guys can take away is that even those, quote-unquote, who are, super experienced, and I would consider myself pretty good at this business, I still have days where I blank. It's not all that uncommon. And the difference is I still follow the system. Despite that, and I don't talk myself out of the belief that I can accomplish this despite there being short-term setbacks. Again, the goal and the practice we should all focus on is taking this business and making it manifest into a month-to-month, even quarter-to-quarter type analysis. Weekly is much better than daily, and essentially is a lot better than per appointment. But the reality is it's always this existential battle between the immediate feelings and emotional reactions versus the logical reality that we pose about a larger long-term perspective. And the more that we can align ourselves and control ourselves within that long-term perspective, the better off we're going to be. And so I hope with my loss on Thursday, which really wasn't a loss, I shouldn't talk so negatively, I wouldn't have been able to get to the killer production on Friday without the loss on Thursday, right? And who gives a crap anyway? At the end of the week, it's all that matters. Again, but you see what I mean. I even go back and forth a little on the videos to show you the difference, that I am of the same persuasion as you. So, if we can follow the longer-term perspective and we can align ourselves with that and stay out of the weeds when it comes to the negativity and the frustration we all, every single one of us, experience. The production is there, the business is there to be had. And all you have to do is just go get it. So, guys, if you have any questions for me watching this video, it is late on Friday night. I'm sure most of you people have a life. Unlike myself, I am married with kids after all. So if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to leave me a comment. I'll be happy to respond to it personally. If you are interested in any of the programs you offer, specifically the mentorship program, your new agent looking to join some sort of agency, I welcome you to reach out to me. Go to feagentmentor.com/contact. Send me a message. We'll send you some information to check out how the mentorship program works. Also, if you'd like to learn more about the Inner Circle program, if you're happy with some sort of agency or you'd like to get all sorts of material, training material, coaching, access to our private Facebook group for a low monthly fee, check out the Inner Circle information down below in the comment box. Not in the comment box, but the information box. And if you're interested in leads, we do leads. If you're interested in training, we do training. Check us out. All the links below. And I want to thank you guys for watching me on a Friday night. Hope you guys have an enjoyable weekend. It's my son's birthday party. Oh man, it's my wife's birthday Sunday. Oh man, uh-oh. Well, I guess I'll be off the computer doing something constructive after all. All right, guys. Have a great weekend and take it easy, okay? Bye, guys.